Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Hakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles who taught us this truth at GMS and all the other affiliate camps. Shalom and double honors to you as well. You know, it's a hopeful election. I pray I'm a part of that number. Shalom to you all, to the men, women, and children. Coming back to our understanding of who we are, you know, maneuvering in this world and understanding conduct too. I want to get into this real quick. Sirach 5, you know, but there's something that I noticed too. Is this off the spirit? If the shoe fit, word, because it's not nobody in particular. It's just something I noticed within Israel. Sirach 5, it says, if thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. It says, honor and shame is in talk. In the tongue of man is his fall. So many words. You know, let me keep reading it because I'm going to get to the point. It says, be not called a whisperer, and lie not in wait with thy tongue. Excuse me, because, you know, you got a lot of people that, you know, if you're in the spirit, you know that you know, there's things out there that people trying to trip you up. There's it's a spiritual war, man. You got things out there to stumble, to try to, I guess you could say, get you to stumble off your path, and, you know, wander off into whatever the devil trying to get you to wander off to, man. You know, at the end of the day, though, man, you these whisperers and these people that's lying and wait for you, that's a real thing. For a foul shame is upon the thief, and an evil condemnation upon the double tongue. You know, you got people using double tongue, and that's, you know, Israelite leaders, as well as, you know, you got these regular two-third jakes out here too, man. That's gonna be used against us too, to come against us. You know, man, like, look, we are supposed to be hated, you know, but it's sad that even amongst ourselves, you know, even amongst what you would call the body, that you know, you gotta, you know, forgiveness is a thing, man. Pride, you know, I'm not gonna get forgiveness and mercy, man, gotta be instilled in the foundation as well. You know, when we talk about our brothers, man, you know, it says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. In a great matter or small. So what may seem small to somebody else may be great to you, but since you been coming from wherever you coming from, or been however you been, or talk however you talk, or look however you look, they look at you as small. But you could be great in the Lord's eyes. And see, that's something that they don't understand, because, you know, that they're not walking spiritual. A lot of people are walking carnal. You know, when, yeah, we get into things. Yeah, I mean, I go through things, and we have ailments and stuff. But you can notice a difference in spirit of those who, you know, who are able to receive, you know, even harsh correction, you know, and those who are able to, and those who can't adhere to just the basic principles of respect, man. And I'm gonna keep going. It says, Sirach 6 says, instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that have a double tongue. So really just stay away from these people, man. You know, stay away from whisperers, stay away from people that's, you know, trying to trip you up and get you to, I guess you could say, swallow your own words, you know. But it's really not that. You know, you battling demons, man. The Lord is not, you know, oblivious to our infirmities, not oblivious to our ignorance to certain things that's going on. But, you know, your integrity got to be true too. It says, extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull string alone. It said, thou shalt eat up the leaves and lose the fruit, thy fruit, and lose in the leaf thyself as a dry tree. A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it. It says, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. You know, and that's those who those people using double tongues playing, man. You got a double spirit working in you right now. You got a dual spirit. You got to fight. It's like a people second guessing themselves, man, or something, or this truth, or how sincere this is, because this is not for everybody, but it's not something that you should just take lightly either. Let's see, it's on 14. In their own hearts, people in their own hearts, you get a little money, you get a little status in this life, and you put yourself on a pedestal that you feel like everybody else should follow. Like you put yourself on the pedestal of Yahweh Shah, and then a lot of times when people do that, now I get it, we need a standard, but a lot of times when people put themselves on a pedestal where they, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, and don't check that, the Lord will put a lying spirit on you, or the Lord will put a spirit on you to make you start going off, and you don't even realize you're going off. In conduct, because that matters too. That matters just as much as you being able to just know the word. For real, your spirit matters just as much as that, because even the devil knows the scriptures too. So let's not ever forget that. Wisdom of Solomon 14. Let's start at 9. It says, for the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto God. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto God, man. For them that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. And ungodly, if you're ungodly, what are you? Wicked in the Lord's eyes. What are godly things? You look at the Lord's conduct. You look at the examples of the scriptures. You change your life around. You start praying more. You start supping with the Lord more. You know what you need to do. It says, therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall be their visitations. Shall be a visitation, because in the creature of God they are become like an abomination, stumbling blocks to the souls of man, ensnared in a snare to the feet of the unwise, man. So you got our people out there, Gentiles. As far as this, it's pretty much our people that went off to serve idols, that went off to serve their own bellies, that went off to serve do their own thing, man. And they laid out snares for our people. They've laid out snares for our people. They do it, and it's not done just in communication. There's gossip going on, these little WhatsApp group chats, bullshit, little fuck nigga shit. No, it's like at the end of the day, this is weird, bro. To me, this is weird, and it's gonna get weirder. What's seeming normal to people is actually, it's weird, bro. But it is what it is. And GMS does have the 100% truth, whether people want to believe that or not. That's their business, man. I'm not worried about it no more, because I done definitely seen, we done seen it, bro. If you can't see it, you don't got the spirit, bro. But yeah, this is how we should be, because this is a problem. This is why the Lord tells us, to watch out for these sort of things, brothers. Like, that's why I'm really, me personally, I just really be quiet throughout the day. I'm quiet, or I talk to myself, bro. I pray to the Lord, prophesy to the wind. But typically when I'm around people, that I don't know, it's just best to be silent and examine. You know what I'm saying? Because it really, a smile these days can really, a smile could be coded behind some of the most fucked up intentions, man. So it's always been like that, but these days it's amplified. And that's just me blowing it. It's a warning, blowing the trumpet, man. Like really be careful of the type of like the backbiting and the double tongue using. If that's going, wherever it may be going on, if that's going on in your life, it's going on in your life, Because I can speak for myself. I know what's going on around me, you know. But at the end of the day, you got to remain faithful and true. You got to know that what the Lord put in us and what he put in me and what he put in you is true. It's just people can't understand that because they can't understand you. And you know what people do to the things that they can't get or they can't understand or it ain't for them. They ostracize it as, you know, it's not good for this society. It's not good for society. So they either kill it or they destroy it when they don't understand it. We in that same lot as our Savior, Yahweh Shai. That's how you know you got Yahweh Shai spirit in you. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world, man. Because we feel the same things he feel. But it's going to get amplified, brothers. You know, that's why, you know, I harp on, you know, when I came out, I was harping on, the Lord put a special spirit on me to harp on being, you know, getting to know your brothers and, you know, being around each other more. But, you know, for some may, you know, have listened to that, you know, and I pray it's going well. Because at the end of the day, man, we're gonna need Yahweh Shai, but you know, it says two can keep each other, you know, roughly paraphrasing the verse, man. Two can keep each other warm at night in the cold. You know, roughly paraphrasing what he was talking about, man. To go in this alone. I mean, you can go alone. You can. Lamentations 3:25 to 30. It is good that a man should sit and quietly wait on the Lord, because he had borne the yoke of affliction in his youth, man. That's what I'm saying. So some of these things is going on, like he said, it's just to try us, bro. You just gotta understand the Lord is just trying us. He's trying to try our hearts. He's purging the things out of us, man. It said that therefore purge himself from these. I'm sorry, it's a lot. 2 Timothy 2:21. It says, if a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use. It says, and prepared unto every good work. You know, so conduct, man. It says, flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. And if you don't understand what a pure heart is, you know, what is a pure heart? Somebody that has a pure mind, that has pure intentions. It means the Lord knows, man. Really, at the end of the day, you got to watch people's conduct, man. But a lot of people just know how to play. You know, they know how to snake their way to the top real good because they've had, you know, certain help. But, you know, you're going to snake your way to the top and you're going to get ate by the damn lion. So it's that's your business, man. It says, foolish and unlearned questions avoid. It says, knowing that they do gender strifes, and the servant of the Lord must not strive. It says, and the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach and patient. You know, and yes, I'm working on that because, man, but he's right. We have to. Ain't no excuses. We have to, you know, put on the spirit. It's a job when you think about it. But it's not really a job. It's not a burden. I don't want to make it seem like that. It's not a burden. But it is something the Lord, he said do these things. You say you believe in him, you're going to do these things. In meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves. In meekness and humbleness, instructing those that oppose themselves, man. You got brothers setting snares on other brothers too. Don't think that the Lord know. If God peradventure God peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledgement of the truth, and that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. Man, like I said, bro, who's the devil gonna use the most? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. He ain't even gonna use Jake like that. A lot of men is gonna get caught up by a woman, bro. Watch. A lot of men gonna get caught up by a woman, bro. I guarantee it. You know, because people be fronting, bro, on these cameras, bro. A lot of men gonna get. It's gonna be a woman, bro. This is why we gotta, you know, as far as the conduct and, you know, if this is going on, this is why it's important to remember these things, man, and pray to the Lord if it's going on. Humble yourself, man. That's why I say, bro, I don't know, Lord, I don't ever want to get to the point in this truth where I can't, revert back to when I was like remember what I was like whenever I came in, bro. Because, like I said, people get put on pedestals, start feeling themselves a little bit, you know. Colossians 4:5 says, walk in wisdom towards them that are without, redeeming the time. It said, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. And that comes with time. And it comes with time. Some people still learning how, about their own. But it says, why tremors our way to seek love, You shouldn't have to compromise, integrity and righteousness and what's righteous and true. And, this bias shit, man, you shouldn't have to compromise what's true, righteous, true, and fair, for some fucking money or for some status or some bullshit, bro. I fucking hate that shit, bro. I've always hated it, That's when that's just evil that just ruins families, man. It just ruins shit. Like just somebody just come out of nowhere telling lies. Y'all could have been, y'all was going on the right path. Somebody come out of nowhere that's in the group, and make up something that somebody just because they feel some type of way. I'm like, nah, man. That's female shit, man. That's female shit, bro. Oh, I'm sorry. And this is what I'm into that, man. Feel my own one. It says, Paul, a prisoner of Yahushua HaMashiach, a prisoner of hope like we all are. It says, and Timothy, our brother, unto Philemon, our dearly beloved and fellow laborer. So fellow laborers in this thing, there's so many things to do in this truth that you can do in the ministry. Videos and prophesying is one thing, but the one thing that you want to do the most is examine yourself and make sure your own conduct is okay. Because what does it say? The Lord, eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Roughly paraphrasing, man. So, there's nothing. He sees what we're doing in our day-to-day life. He knows when we're trying. He knows who actually cares. He knows who actually is fearing him. Everything. He knows all of that. So at the end of the day, those is looking for, to be saved, but you're not showing forth, I guess you could say patience towards your brother, but you're looking to be saved. You're not showing forth patience towards your brother, you're still holding grudges or whatever. That's it. And that's just to whoever it may concern. This is just rolling in the spirit, It's going to be rough for you in these times, man, because how you going to expect the Lord to, have mercy and forgive you? It says, I thank my God, making mention of thee always in my prayers, man. It says, hearing of thy love and faith which thou hast towards the Lord, the Adonai, Yahweh, and toward all saints, the communication of thy faith may become effectual by the acknowledging of every good thing which is in you in Yahushua HaMashiach. It says, for we have great joy and consolation in thy love, because the bowels of the saints are refreshed by thee, brother. So we're supposed to be able to build our brothers up, man. For real. You ain't supposed to be tearing your brothers down. You ain't supposed to be, going along to get along with the crowd just to laugh, hyena shit. You ain't supposed to be all on that shit. Now, you can laugh together. It's like, you ain't supposed to, the double tongue. Hey, that's one of the things the Lord says he hates, man. Remember that. Because he said the Lord will hate them. He said, that's a man that tells the other man's secrets, man. What verse is that? I can't even think of that verse right now, bro. So I'm just ending right there. But, hopefully, this was, more so of an exhortation, but also just rolling in the spirit from things that, I've noticed as a brother, but also, just looking at the times we in, man, you see the spirits is turning up. So, if you do notice these type of things going on in your life, just know it ain't no coincidence. You're not crazy. You've been tried and tested just like all of us. So call Allah Yallah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the elders, apostles, the GMS who do well, taught us truth, and peace and blessings to the hopeful election out there who's still enduring faith. My name is Rapash Shawab, and God.